Okay, I think we are live. Hi everyone, this is Aditya Sharma. I'm co-founder and CEO of High Counselor. With me, I have my colleague Dr. Amit Lal and our guest for today, Supreet Kaur. Hi Supreet, how are you doing?
Great, excited to be here.
Okay, awesome. Guys, so let's double check our connections first, right? If you can hear us loud and clear, if you can see us fine, please comment in the chat box and let us know. In the meantime, we'll check connections on our end and we'll take just 2-3 minutes for everyone else to join and then we'll get started. Okay.
Okay, we are
So,
live on YouTube. There is no issue at all. Yeah.
okay, let me check on LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Yep, we are live on LinkedIn as well.
okay, great.
Okay, LinkedIn user, I can hear you. Thanks for confirming. Let's wait to hear from a few other people.
Okay, so somebody says I can hear you. Thank you so much for confirming. Uh, I, I hope the connection is working fine. There's no problem at all there.
Yep. Guys, let's start with a brief introduction. Why don't we share our current locations and the temperature at your place? Supreet, where are you located?
I am tuning in from Jersey City, New Jersey, and I think many of us will be joining from Jersey City.
Okay.
There's a strong Indian population here, so I'm
Yes.
hoping a lot will join.
Is it too hot there? Cold there?
It's actually hot, but I like it, so I'm happy, not complaining. I like heat.
Amit, where are you?
Okay, so I am right now in Toronto, and the weather is much better. So I am summer is like is heaven in Canada. So like 3 4 months is really good, and right now the weather is really good. In fact, 20 21 degrees, perfectly good weather for roaming around here and there. Beach day.
And I am in Miami.
Okay,
And it is not the best time to visit here. It's super hot, 35 degrees centigrade. So, yep. If you want to come here, come between October and April, not now.
okay. So I can already see people joining in from Jersey. Satish says I am from Jersey. So guys, if you can share your location, from which location you are dialing in, and also about the weather from, so that we can also see. Um, because we in the past few events, Supreet, you will be surprised to know that we had people from almost 15 countries. So okay, so LinkedIn user says I am joining in from Kerala. Okay, joining you from Tempe, Arizona. Miami. Okay, joining in from San Jose, joining in from New Jersey. Okay.
So, Supreet, is entire Indian population located in one specific part of Jersey City, or is it like spread all across?
I would say there are two areas, Journal Square and Newport, which have a heavy cluster of Indian population. But overall in New Jersey, it's higher, I feel, than other states. And
Yeah.
California, New Jersey, Texas, I think. These are the
Yeah.
three.
So I lived in San Francisco Bay Area for about 8 years before moving to Miami, and there the situation is like if you go to say any downtown of Mountain View, San Jose, or Sunnyvale, and you talk to say 10 people, out of that 8 or 9 would be software developers or data scientists. But that's not the case here in Miami, right? You would barely find even one tech guy. So is it the same case in Jersey?
I think in Jersey, there is obviously an assumption you're staying in Jersey, so you will be in finance. So that is true that if you talk to 15 people, out of that, there's a high probability that you'll be working in Wall Street in some role or the other because it's extremely convenient. It's like 10 minutes from World Trade Center, so people tend to live here. So yeah.
So more in finance and less in tech.
I would say so. Obviously, there is, I mean, I consider myself from tech now. There are a few
Mhm.
people in Google who live here in my building, Amazon. But I would say it will definitely be less if we compare the population that's in Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's see. We have a lot of people joining from Bangalore, Nairobi, Kenya, San Jose, Connecticut, Nagpur, Chennai, Goa, New York. Okay, cool. That's perfect. And someone from Rochester, New York. I think you studied from Rochester, right? Supreet, you studied from Rochester University, right?
Rutgers.
Rutgers. That's different. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think we have the right crowd to get started, guys. Why don't you quickly share what job role you're targeting, just to make sure that uh, we have the right project from you. Just right. If you're looking for a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, software developer, or whatever job role you're targeting. Okay, and then we'll get started soon. Okay, we have people from Ghana, Minnesota, Mumbai, and Hyderabad. Cool. It's perfect. Mohit Pandey is targeting data analyst role. Okay. Joining from Derby, England. Okay. Data analyst, data scientist. Okay. So mostly in our target job role. Okay, cool. So this is helpful, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's get started. In the meantime, if you can quickly repost this event, share with your network, you can simply hit the like button, right, so that it reaches to your network as well. There might be many people who would need uh, an access to a similar project, right? So that would be very helpful for them. So please take a moment to hit either the thumbs up, as you can see on LinkedIn or YouTube, and also please take a moment to repost it. Okay. In the meantime, let me set the context for this meeting. So, those who are first time users here, you may not know the purpose of this entire event. So a few months ago we found that a lot of people who are entry level, who are transitioning to software engineering or data science, or who are coming back to workforce after some time, they struggle to land interview calls and hence job offers. And the biggest differentiator that we found was hands-on work experience. People with great internship experience, people with great project experience, or with a few years of work experience, they always have an edge over many other candidates who never got this opportunity. And unfortunately, many colleges, universities, they don't have access to latest industry projects. The curriculum is outdated because professors are not very much connected to the industry. And that's when we decided that why don't we conduct a data science project live on LinkedIn and YouTube every single week, where we take you through a real world project journey. You learn something, you gain hands on experience, and at the end of this project, you will be able to add this experience on your resume, your LinkedIn. You'll be able to talk about it in your interviews, and hopefully, you'll be much more empowered to find your dream job. Okay. Also, at the end of this project, everyone who completes the project successfully will get a certificate of completion, and one winner will be featured on Times Square, New York. Also, in this event, our objective is to give you some insights from somebody who has already reached in a position where you want to be. That's where we invite mentors like Supreet every week. So, Supreet, would love to learn about your journey. Definitely, right from the beginning to where you are. We'll jump into a lot more questions later on part of this event once we introduce the project and everything. But let me share my screen, and we would love to get an overview on your career so far. Give me a second, and here you go. Okay.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here on a weekend. So, I am really hoping that from my journey, you will be able to get some inspiration, and the entire project that we have planned for you today is extremely exciting. So, my journey. I do belong from India, Delhi. I was there for 21 years, and then I did my bachelor's from Delhi University. I did my bachelor's in mathematics. In 2017, as I graduated from my bachelor's degree, I decided to pursue my master's from the US, and that is when I came to the US in 2017. Graduated in 2019, and my first job was as a data science consultant in the healthcare space. I started with a startup. It had like 60 to 70 people, and it was a great learning experience. From there, my second job was at ZS Associates. It was the same kind of job role within the healthcare space, but now a bigger management consulting firm. That is definitely a pioneer in healthcare. I was there for close to 2 years, and then I moved to Morgan Stanley. And in Morgan Stanley, my role was also building data and AI strategies within the wealth management space. I was there for 2.5 years before I moved to Microsoft in July as a data and AI solutions architect. So, all in all, my career has been dedicated to building data and AI solutions for different industries and for different use cases. I've worked on predictive analytics, machine learning, large language models, text mining, generative AI. So, I have a flavor of almost everything and still learning. Outside my work, I am also a Google Women Tech Makers ambassador. As part of that, I do deliver a lot of speaking engagements, mentor students, and I also basically like to give back to my alma mater, and that is where I'm also a data science advisor at Rutgers. And I do a lot more volunteer activities, so please check out my LinkedIn and you'll be able to see what all I do. Yeah, that's a summary about my career journey.
That's amazing, Supreet. Would you like to tell a little bit more about this Google Ambassador program? I never heard about it. I think it would be interesting for a lot of people.
Sure, yes. So a lot of tech companies, including Google, they basically want to promote women in technology. They want more diversity. They want all kinds of people to be able to penetrate into tech, to succeed in tech. So Google Women Tech Makers is a program, obviously by Google, where they select close to 200 to 250 applicants per year. So it's an application process. Do need to apply, and you do need to identify as a woman in technology. You don't have to work for a tech company, but you have to be doing something related to technology. And you go through an application process, you get selected. And once you get selected as an ambassador, you have certain roles and responsibilities, which is on how are you giving back to the community. So I do speaking, writing, and some of those things do count as a Google ambassador. You do get opportunities to also talk to other Googlers, to attend events, to fly to Google I/O, and also to be able to, if you want to contribute to open source, and if you want to learn about Google Cloud programs. So there are multiple opportunities. So I would definitely recommend everyone to Google Women Tech Makers program if you are a woman and who is interested in participating. Applications usually close in July, so I would still check. Maybe there are 3 4 days, but you can also sign up and you would receive an email when the applications open.
Awesome, awesome. Supreet, we'll jump into a lot more things related to your career journey. Definitely, people will be
Yes.
looking for a lot of your advice, right? Let's introduce project, and then we'll come back to you again. Okay, Amit sir, would you like to go with your introduction?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Amit. I work as a head of business operations at High Counselor. So I did my bachelor's into computer science. After that, I did my MBA program in marketing and human resources. I did my PhD program in marketing research. I was an alumni of Research Summer School at IMA. Back in India, I worked with companies like Wipro, Reliance, and ICICI Bank. I have 10 years of teaching experience at both undergraduate and postgraduate level. I have a YouTube channel with my same name with more than 100K following. You can follow me there. Yeah.
Awesome. Regarding my background, guys, did my BTech from NIT Jalandhar, came to US in 2015 for masters at Duke University. It's in Durham, North Carolina. Post my graduation, started my career at PwC, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, as a tech consultant. Worked in Chicago for a year, but Chicago was super cold, So I had to move to San Francisco with Deloitte Consulting, worked there for about 3.5 years as a senior tech consultant. And during my time at Deloitte, I was also part of their recruitment team. So I visited a lot of universities during those 3 years to hire talent for software engineering, data science, and Salesforce consultant roles. And that's when I started getting interest in career counseling and mentorship space. So 2020, I took a leap of faith and left my job from Deloitte to start High Counselor. So it's been more than 4 years now. And a lot of immigrants in the US or sitting outside of the US, they may wonder what visa is required to start a company. A simple answer is you need to be either on O1 visa or EB1 green card. So if you ever want to start your startup journey, feel free to reach out to me. I always love to share that information. Okay. Now, when we started High Counselor, I started this with my co-founder Rani Haroon, who's MBA from Kellogg School, more than 10 years in strategy consulting. We started with just 3 candidates in the US to help them find a job. And this journey in the last 4 years, we've helped more than 600 candidates find a job in the US. We raised almost $2 million in our seed round from VCs in Silicon Valley, edtech entrepreneurs, and companies like Deloitte, Wipro, and State Farm Insurance. And this is very exciting every single week when we work with a lot of other candidates. Let me take you a little bit overview on the journey of High Counselor, what we do, and a little bit about projects platform as well, right? Because you'll be working with us for the next 1 week, so we need to know about each other. So the reason I started High Counselor was when I interviewed this entry level candidates in universities, I found that they struggle because of 3 major reasons. The first one is people lack hands-on work experience, for which all of us are here today. Second is people lack interview opportunities. They barely know any other way to get interview calls apart from applying to jobs online. And third is when they get interview calls, they're not prepared to crack those interview calls. So we launched High Counselor, and our objective was never to launch a staffing company or a consultancy. Rather than we wanted to create a 360-degree accelerator where we help people with interview prep, that is by helping them upskilling in new skills, connecting them with the mentors for one-on-one counseling, interview prep. We help people get internship or the project experience, help them with their LinkedIn resume, and when they're ready to crack interviews, we help them get interview calls as well by matching them to the right jobs, by doing the job applications for them, and by providing them a system that help them email network and get referrals faster. We only support 2 job roles right now. One is software engineering. So anyone who's looking for a front end, back end, full stack developer role, that we can help out. And another one is a data science role. So any role in data science, be it data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, AI, ML, generative AI, we should be able to help you out. We work on success-based payment. That means there is no upfront payment if we accept you at High Counselor. You simply need to apply. We'll review your application. If you're selected, there is no upfront payment. You only pay once you land a job in monthly installments. We have 2 packages with us. One is a starter package of $10,000 and an advanced package of $15,000. The difference between starter and advanced package is that in advanced package, we provide more one-on-one sessions with industry mentors. We provide manual job application support. So our team will be applying to thousands of jobs on your behalf. We provide you a tool that automates the email networking process, will help you get remote internship opportunities priority to our job fair events, as well as if you get layoff, we will be providing you a security over there as well. Feel free to visit our website, highcounselor.com/review, to read about a lot of stories of candidates whom we have helped land a job. Let me show you really quick how you can apply to our program. So simply go to our website, which is highcounselor.com. Click on apply to upcoming cohort.
Did we lose Aditya?
Every few weeks, simply click on the start application. Sorry?
Aditya, we had lost you for a minute. So if you want to repeat
We lost
this
it.
process.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you guys lose me? Like when I visited on website?
Yes. After
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. So, guys, simply to apply to our program, go to our website, highcounselor.com, click on apply to upcoming cohort. When you land on this page, our next cohort starts on July 29th, which is Monday, and we start code every 2 weeks. Simply click on start application, fill out this form. We'll review your application and we'll get back to you with a decision whether we can accept you, or if we cannot accept you, within 24 to 48 hours. If you're accepted, we'll help you until you land a job. If you want to learn more about our program and different type of packages and what's difference between them, you can also sign up for an info session right over here. Simply click on sign up for our info session, and you will find a calendar over here where we conduct an info session on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Simply sign up for it and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, perfect. That's all about High Counselor. Let's jump into today's project. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Supreet, I would love if you can take us through the project details, everything.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so you can see the High Counselor sign-in page.
Yep.
Okay, so as Aditya was showing, basically the website is highcounselor.com. You do need credentials to get in. Aditya and team were gracious enough to share some credentials with me so that I can walk you through the project. You can basically, if you have the credentials, good, or I think you can also sign in with your Google, LinkedIn, GitHub, whatever works for you. As you do it, you basically click on sign in and you will land on this page where you see you have all of these projects. You can check them out. There's also a mentor attached to each of the projects. So whatever project you are interested in, you can basically select that. I will go to the project that we are discussing today, which is time series data preprocessing using large language models. So once I select that, you also see my name. So this is your cue that this is the project that we are discussing today. And if you want to click on start and you want to start the project, you can basically hit here and it should bring you to a page where you'll have the entire project, about the project and the tasks. So it's still loading. It's loading the Jupyter notebook.
Supreet, we can't see your screen. We are still on the project page if you are using.
Okay. Right. Let me switch now. You can see it now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. So this is the project. Basically, you see how it's divided into small modules as well. This is the first module. This is the second module, third module, and this is for your ease, right? If you are new to data science and you don't know how to read a Jupyter notebook or where to start, this is a perfect platform for you. So if you see, this is module one, task one on the left, and the first task for any project is like load the data, right? So every project will have your notebook divided into multiple tasks. So let me first give you a high level overview of what we are trying to achieve, and then I would go into tasks, right? So as you kind of scroll up, you can also see it in the Jupyter notebook what the project basically is, and it is a very simple yet extremely impactful project. I have worked in healthcare, so I can definitely endorse that this is a relevant project, which is if you want to analyze your healthcare data and it has a time component attached to it. Like here, we are doing a healthcare appointment analytics project, right? And how will you leverage large language models to do the analysis? I know most of the projects out there, they talk about large language models to do some kind of prediction or some kind of modeling. But this is a very interesting project because you are using large language models to do the data pre-processing, which is basically 60 to 70% of any data scientist role. So it's extremely important that you focus on this. And to achieve this, we will be using LangChain and some of the open AI APIs. And you see how clearly the instructions are mentioned that if you are going to use the open AI API, the cost, you might have to incur some cost, which is your 4 USD to 8 US dollars. So you know what you're exactly getting into. And there are also ways for you to set up your OpenAI account in order to achieve this, and there are instructions to do that also. You can log into the account, add credit, generate API key. All of this API key and everything you'll see you'll be needing in some of the subsequent tasks. So it's important you follow it in this chronological order so that you don't get stuck at any point in the project. Then when you once you have understood what the project is about, now you want to go task by task, you can basically click here, and as you go through here you would see that you can basically see your tasks also side by side, so you don't have to read the entire Jupyter notebook. You can also click on this. If you're comfortable with scrolling through Jupyter notebook, you can do that also. So the first task for any project is basically reading the data. So, you would be reading the data from the CSV files. Once you have the data ready, you would be converting it into a data frame. And again, the instructions are pretty clear that for you to be able to do this project, you might need certain libraries. So it's better you install those libraries as and when you proceed towards this project. And there are pip install commands also for people who don't have all of these libraries installed in their notebook. Right. This is where you'll be needing your API key, as I was mentioning in the start, that you would have to generate that. Once you have all of this ready, now the next is basically to explore the data. And the task 3 is about renaming columns in your data frame. This is a great way for you to make the data frame and the data frame column names more intuitive. It's a good practice. It's not necessary, but it's always a good practice to do that, right? And all you have to do to achieve all of these tasks is write prompts, right? And this is the most interesting part about the project, because you would be learning prompt engineering, which is another skill that is highly valuable for a data scientist. As at one point in your career in the next 3-4 years, there's a higher chance that you would be working on large language models. And for that, you want to know how to make intuitive, good prompts so that you can get the required output. And so for achieving all of these tasks, you would learn how to make good prompts. And also you can explore, right? You write the prompt once, it's possible that you might not get the desired answer. So you can modify your prompt. So it's a great way to learn prompt engineering as well during this entire project, which I found very interesting. Then even if you want to drop columns from the data frame, you will be again using prompt engineering to write it. And you see how the instructions are very clear. So even if you are a beginner, you can do the project just by reading the instructions and the comments in each of the block in Jupyter Notebook. Same way, you will be doing some kind of data pre-processing. Let's say here we are creating age groups. You will again be leveraging your prompt engineering. They're removing the age columns. So all the tasks are basically very much around creating that good data frame, cleaning the data set so that you can use it for further modeling process if you need to. So I'm going to stop talking. Are there any questions on the Jupyter Notebook, or is there anything else you want me to cover?
Yep. Great. Well, thank you so much, Supreet, for a quick overview. Guys, any question that you may have related to this project, feel free to ask in the chat box, and we'll take your questions one by one. A few other things in this platform, as you can see right now on Supreet's screen, there is a leaderboard. Supreet, if you can click on that icon right below the dog icon on top left. Yes, this will tell you your current position in this particular project. So you will be able to see who is completing what number of tasks in the live feed below. Plus at the top, you will be able to see the live ranking of yours. And this ranking is based on basically 4 factors. One is the number of tasks you've completed, number of time you have taken, the efficiency of your code, and finally the number of people that you have invited to the platform. And to invite any of your friends, there is an icon on the top right side of your screen where you can simply click on it and invite people either by adding their email ID or by simply sharing the invitation link. Okay. Happy to answer any questions. Let's see.
Okay, so we have a special comment over here from Usha.
Yes.
Hi, Usha. Thank you for joining.
Okay. So there is a question which says that I have a question that why our resumes are not being selected, even having all the keywords and experience. Any take on that, Supreet?
Uh, I have never got a job just by applying. I'm not the greatest person to tell you if your resume is good or not, because I think even I write pathetic resumes, or there's some problem with my resume writing as well.
What is your mantra then?
Yes. What is
I
your mantra to write it?
So my mantra is to network like a pro and to network as if your life depends on that. And that has been my kind of, I don't know if it's a secret or not, but I do attend a lot of events as much as possible. I try to talk to at least one new person every day. For the past 4 years, I've been doing that either through LinkedIn or by going to events. For me, it's all about networking and making that network when I'm not looking for a job, right? And that is the most important, because at that time, you're just building relationships, and you are not building relationships for getting something in return. So that has been my mantra until now. So please don't ask me about tips for great resume. I'm not the right person.
Okay, so I guess right now, even since so many AI tools are available and a lot of people are only generating their resumes through ChatGPT type AI tools, so it is becoming more irrelevant now. So that is
Exactly.
the
That's
reason
true.
why networking is the key. And I guess in my case also, and in so many cases, we have seen that what is the power of networking. Even like recently, me and Aditya was discussing that email networking is also not working that great.
Yep. That's all.
Sending emails is like it's like you are sending to someone but nobody is going to read it, or at least not
Exactly.
nobody is going to reply it.
And that is why I feel like another component of that is you should have a personal brand, right? People should
Yes.
know you for who you are so that they respond to you. And that is why it's important for even students. I hear this all the time. Oh, I just started my career, right? What is the need for me to build a personal brand? And I say start early. As early as you start, your personal brand will directly be proportional to your career progression, at least in the US, is what I've heard. So you should definitely do that.
Everywhere. In fact, right now, like content creators is the game changers. If you look at whatever
It's
the
true.
content might be, it might be a blog, it might be a post, it might be a video content, could be.
Correct.
But like anybody who is on such kind of, they are immune of AI also right now. They
Yeah,
are not, they don't have any fear of AI because they know
right.
that they will start creating content on AI only and start making money out of it.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Okay. uh okay, so there is one question.
So
uh
there was also an article recently that there are a lot of AI bots for job applications, and in this process, everyone is losing, both hiring managers and recruiters, because hiring managers are like they're bumped up with like thousands of applications, right? And job seeker is thinking that okay, I'm applying to thousands of applications but not receiving anything. So,
Hmm.
right, so it's a very you need to have a personal brand, right?
That's exactly what I say. Yeah, yeah. Okay, awesome. I think there's a question on Llama. Can we use Llama instead of Chat GPT API? I mean, Aditya, is there a reason why we
Yeah.
chose? I'll let you comment on this.
So for this particular project, Lilia, we need to use ChatGPT API because that's how the project has been built, right, and set up. And we have tested the project, this entire project with ChatGPT API. That if it's gonna return you the right results or not. Llama, we are still not sure in many of the use cases whether it is going to return us the required result or not. So for now, go ahead with ChatGPT API. But it's a great idea. Let's see if we can create a project where you have the freedom to use any LLM that you want, including Llama. Okay. Um, and by the way, Lilia, I don't want to like mistake here, but Lilia is one of High Counselor's alumni, if I'm not wrong. And correct me if I'm wrong, Lilia.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay. There's another question from Ishan. I'll be in US on August 8th for my master's show. Should I pursue current cohort or should I wait and apply once I land? Ishan, so joining High Counselor, you should, the right time to join High Counselor is either once you graduate or you have 2 to 3 months in your graduation if you have not landed a job and you need some help, right? So you don't need to join us right now. Rather than you can continue following our projects platform. On our projects platform, we have a lot of projects. Let me share my screen. And you can start doing that at any time in your career, whether you're currently in a job, uh, let me share my screen. Okay, so you can simply go to highcounselor.com, and when you go to projects platform at the top, go to view all projects. When you go to view all projects, you'll see a lot of projects over here in the field of software engineering, data science, data analyst, and generative AI. uh, Feel free to continue work on these projects. The projects in the premium category are created all of by our mentors who are working professionals in different companies. They're a part of a premium platform, so you need to upgrade to premium to access projects created by industry professionals. And actually, as Supreet is our guest today, so we have a discount code that is Supreet 20. So feel free to use this code on our projects platform to get 20% discount on premium. Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen. So yeah, you can start using projects platform from today, but to join High Counselor, you can wait until your graduation. And I was right. Lilia was
Yes, yes.
so Lilia joined us, and actually I connected with Lilia recently a few months ago. So she was in absolutely different field. She wanted to get into data science, uh, upskilled herself, and then she joined us, and she was able to land a job in Florida. And I connected with her recently, and her story was really, really amazing. And I'm going to Lilia. Sorry, I haven't posted it, but I'm going to post your story on my YouTube channel as well. That was very, very learning for myself. Okay, moving on. Is that API free of cost or does it involve some subscription? So Nishchit, this project is absolutely free for the next 7 days. You can absolutely complete this project. The cost of API will be the cost that you will be paying to ChatGPT or like OpenAI, and this cost will be between $4 to $8. Right? We have tried to keep it as low as possible. So you will be paying this cost to OpenAI, not to us, just to use their API. Okay. By the way, this project is free for this week. High Counselor project platform subscription is required only for the premium projects. Okay. In order to complete this project, is it mandatory to use mandate that we have to use ChatGPT API, right?
Yes.
Supreet? Yes. Okay.
Yes, for this one, yes. Again, as Aditya mentioned that, we have tested it out in this way. Obviously, there is a opportunity to use any large language model in future and maybe even the free ones. But for this one, we would like to stick, right, so that you can obviously get on the top of the leaderboard, compare performances. So it'll be good if everyone sticks to the same method.
So
Absolutely.
Mohan is facing some login issue.
Mhm. We-
Feel free to utilize the sandbox link provided on the project page to log in into account.
Okay, that's a great point. So we forget to mention. So Mohan and everyone else, for the next 1 week, we are going to provide you a complete support on this project. For example, Mohan is experiencing some issue. Somebody else might get stuck somewhere else in the project. So we have a Discord channel where you can ask any question related to this project for the next 1 week, and our team will respond back to you within a few hours. Let me share the Discord channel link. Let me share my link screen again. So we have a Discord channel. I'll share the link, by the way. When you go to this Discord channel, we have a community of over 4,200 members right now over there. And when you join this Discord channel, there is a sub channel called Live Project Discussion. Simply come to this sub channel live project discussion, add your question over here, and either one of the community members will respond back to you, or High Counselor team will get back to you with a solution. Okay. So Mohan, please post your question in this Discord channel, and our team will get back to you. Okay. And let me add the Discord channel link in chat box for everyone. Okay. Join Discord channel for Q&A. Here you go. And adding on YouTube as well. Okay, let's take a few more questions here.
Okay. Do we need mathematics or statistics background or core technical knowledge to pursue business analytics or product manager or data science role? I guess all three are different.
Yeah.
Uh, all three are different. You cannot write it like slash or. And
Uh,
yeah, Supreet can answer it well, I guess.
Yeah, but I would say that definitely having, if knowledge of mathematics and statistics, you can easily thrive in more technical roles because it helps you understand the underlying mathematics or statistics behind machine learning models. But there are definitely other roles within the data science field which do not require math knowledge, and there are people that I know who are in this field and they were artists at a time, or they were teachers and now they are in this role. So it's definitely not something you need. So it's, if you're not interested in it, I wouldn't push. Rather, I would explore a career journey within data science, a role that maybe aligns more with your passion.
Mhm. Okay. Sai, how do we perform? Can you please say it once again? So, Sai, that will be a long story. This session is recorded. So once this session is done, you can again go back to the same LinkedIn event page, as well as either on the YouTube or LinkedIn, wherever you are, and you can watch recording of this entire event again, where you'll be able to see the entire explanation. Okay. 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 Da, da,
Did
da.
we take the question from Angela? I think we missed it.
I
Just
think one
above
of the initial
sign.
ones.
Yeah, this one.
Yes.
We didn't took it.
Okay. Great. So I can comment just from my experience. If you are taking a referral, I would recommend taking it before you apply, just because sometimes your application is nullified as soon as you apply and then take a referral. So in some companies, again, it's just based on my experience. So if you apply online and you are shortlisted for an interview, then referral cannot do anything. It's basically dependent on your interview performance.
Mhm. Okay. So your take is, Supreet, that reach out to people, take a referral, and then apply for a job.
So sometimes even if you take a referral, either you receive like a customized link in
Hmm.
your email box and then you have to apply. So either do that, or sometimes it's just that you have to put that person's name within the referral kind of link. But reaching out to person kind of gives you an upper hand, I feel, if they're open to a conversation, because you can know the team's culture, you can know what the role expectations are, and then at least you can modify your responses, and be more prepared for the interview.
Got it. So Supreet, why don't you give us an overview on how you landed a job at Morgan Stanley? I think out of school, right? And how it was different from landing a job at Microsoft now.
Yeah.
What was the approach difference, and like which one was more challenging? I think the previous one.
So actually, my first job after graduating was at PharmaAce, which is a very small company, and I was a data science consultant there. This was back in 2019, and I think that was the most challenging job interview as well as job, I would say, process that I've gone through. I kept getting rejected because of the reason that I didn't have any experience from back in India. And all my experience was through internships that I did during my master's, which was the 11 months experience. So if you're someone who is studying here or who plans to do it, please try to leverage internship, externship, college projects experience as much as possible if you don't have prior experience, because that will make all the difference. So for me, I just got 3 interview calls right after college, even after applying to thousands of jobs and going to networking events. It didn't work, right? And out of 3, I had to crack one. Otherwise, I was going back to India with a $60,000 debt. So I had no option but to crack that job interview. And after that, all the other opportunities have come to me through LinkedIn, through recruiters reaching out, or I reaching out to people and they connecting me with their network. So after that, this is like my fourth job switch in the last 5 years, and I didn't apply for the last three job switches. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's amazing. And you talked about like internships and the projects, right? That would make people stand out, especially out of school. One question that I keep hearing: what is a good project and what's a bad project? So let's say for a entry level data scientist role, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the projects that you would say don't add to your resume, right? Or what are the projects that you would recommend to add someone to their resume?
Yeah. That's a great question. And I think someone just getting out of college, it is very tempting to add all the Kaggle projects that you have ever done, just to increase the value of your brand or of your resume. But what I think is that during your courses, especially in the US, you always have an opportunity to work on a project, and they basically give you dedicated time to work on a project. What kind of helped me is I partnered with senior people who had more experience than me in the field but were studying with me so that I could learn from them. So that we could take a more challenging data set rather than a Kaggle data set, and maybe take a data set from data.gov and think about some problems on an enterprise level that they encountered when they were working. And I was basically team tagging with them, and that's how I learned. And then I could present it during my interviews. So I would say choose the right kind of people around you and try to think of enterprise level use cases. You can't think of it because you have just graduated and you have no idea what's happening in the company. But if you team tag with the person who has been in the industry for several years, they can guide you. Or if you have done internships, then you can think of those use cases. So try to simulate that, do it on your end, and put it on your resume.
That's amazing. Uh, is it true that sometimes if students reach out to working professionals in companies and ask them that, hey, can I work with you? Can I help you with anything and any project that you're working for? These working professionals do accept them and involve them in the project. Is that true or not?
No, I mean, I would never do it personally.
Okay.
First of all, because there's a lot of sensitivity around whatever you do. So it's involving someone involves a lot of NDAs and other things. So it's definitely tricky. Rather, I would, kind of ask people to make a team outside and, work on an enterprise level use cases there. Yeah,
Got it. Okay. No, that's amazing, and basically that's the agenda of High Counselor Projects platform as well, right? We
correct.
try to
Yeah.
get that industry level use cases. Okay. There's a question for you. I think yes. Supreet, I also have this question: how to create a personal brand? Is there any one-on-one course or blog that you can follow? What's your advice on how to create a personal brand, basically, for someone who's a beginner?
Right. So, first of all, there are multiple ways, and I think we touched upon it when we started. You can start your personal brand through writing on LinkedIn, through creating video content, through creating a blog, any way possible. So, what actually I mean when I say building a personal brand, it's not essentially you having X number of followers on LinkedIn or on Instagram and you being popular. For me, building a personal brand is that people know you and you have an expertise. So when they think about you, they know, oh, yeah, this person is popular or this person is known for XYZ thing, right? So that is what I mean by personal branding. But also, I would like to add a caveat: just building a personal brand, or if you just, let's say, one day start writing on LinkedIn, it is not going to help if you're not connecting with other industry professionals outside building your personal brand. Those are the two things that need to go hand in hand for you to have a successful journey and to get the required outcomes that you are looking for. So, my 101 is figure out a way that kind of ignites you. For me, it was speaking. So, I started doing industry level speaking engagements, and that's how I did 50 of them. And then I started sharing on LinkedIn. And that was the start of my personal brand journey. So, figure out what you like and start doing that one step at a time. And on the other side, just start connecting with people on different platforms.
Mhm. One more learning uh, that I got from my LinkedIn journey: never run after like number of followers. I know people that have like probably 200, 300,000 followers, right, as a number coming up there, but the engagement is not there, and they're
Correct.
not that strong personal brand. And there are people with like 20,000 followers, and they're monetizing it or probably utilizing it for their job search or many other. So you do not need, say, six figures followers to monetize or to search a job or like to get a visibility somewhere, right? Even if
Exactly.
you have like 10,000 loyal fans, right, or true believers, that's better than having like six figures follower.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. So let's see what's there's any other question. Earlier you mentioned that there is an ambassador program for women in Google. Are there any similar programs where even male candidates can also take
Uh, that is a great question. What I would recommend is, though you can't take part in the Women Ambassadors program, there are other Google developer groups as well, Women Tech Ambassadors being one of them, and they proactively organize events in all the cities, in all the countries. So if you check out Google developer groups and you see the events near you, please do attend those events. Those events are open for all. You don't have to identify as women, and that is how you can basically build your network and also learn something new.
Yep, yep. One thing, Nishchit, that you can do, which I used to do when I was just graduated and even when I worked at Deloitte, uh, a lot of conferences, as Supreet mentioned, that you can start your speaking journey, right? Reach out to these conferences. I wanted to attend all of these conferences based on AI, data science, Salesforce, tech, but good conferences like Dreamforce or SaaStr or like TechCrunch. All these conferences has the tickets is anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000, and it was almost impossible to buy like $2,000, $3,000 ticket at that time and like attend those events. The good hack of it, search that event name and then search by volunteer opportunity. Almost every single event offer a free volunteer opportunity where suppose you'll support 2 hours on front desk of their registration, and they'll give you 3 days of $2,000 pass absolutely free of cost. And with that way, I attended almost every single event in San Francisco and New York, and that's how you can get started. Uh, right, and then you can, when you attend these conferences, they'll let you know different ways on how you can become part of different programs, and simply you get an entry over there. Okay. So anyone who wants to go to conference, become a volunteer there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can you please share thoughts on the future of data science or analytics consultant?
Uh, I didn't know the future will look like this 5 years back. So I think we are rapidly evolving. But I think one thing that I would say is I think AI as a skill would become inevitable. So it's a good time that we have so many resources and we are rapidly evolving. It's a great time to revamp on your skills and learn AI. You don't need to go into the mathematical details if that is not of interest, but learn how to use it to be more productive, on how to solve complex problems, or whatever you do in your day to day, on how AI can help you elevate your profession, your profile, your everyday life.
Hmm? Okay, I think we are reaching at the top of the hour, so we'll take probably a few more questions and then we'll wrap up. Can I join cohort from India and get a remote job outside India through iCounselor? Are there such options? So, someone, right now we only provide our end-to-end job search support for people who are physically located in the US and looking for a job in US. Uh, our projects platform, you can utilize that first to upskill, and second, now we are getting companies on our projects platform. Let me share it again, who are posting jobs from India or from United States for both remote opportunities as well as on-site opportunities. So simply go to projects platform, which is on High Counselor, and then go to projects over here. And right here, can you see hiring companies over here? So companies have started reaching out to High Counselor saying that, hey, we don't want to hire candidate based on their resumes, but we want to hire candidate based on the real world projects that they have done. So, for example, Nomad Shipping Company, it's a company in Miami, but they are hiring a remote software developer back in India. So maybe this would be a perfect opportunity for you. Similarly, Intelligent AI uh, it's a company founded by an IIT Kanpur alumni, and they are hiring data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, right? So you'd find both remote opportunities from US as well as on-site opportunities in India. So the more projects you do on our projects platform, you will build a portfolio over here where you see view your portfolio. And the better your portfolio is, every time we have an employer on our platform, we will be pushing your profile directly to the employer. Okay. I hope that helps. Let's take another question. Is it necessary to lead code for data science roles? Supreet.
Short answer is no. I have never done lead code in my life. So, yes, you don't require it, but yes, there are more technical roles called known as machine learning engineers or AI research engineers where they might test you on your lead code skills. So, going back to what I said, please identify the role that your skill set and your interests match, and then work towards building your profile and skills based on that.
So, Supreet, you mentioned that there are more technical roles. So, is there a less technical role in data science category as well? And what's the difference between two?
Yes. So I would say that if you, these days, again, based on my observation, the data science role is more a kind of a person who will identify use cases, talk to the customers, talk to different stakeholders, modify the data, prepare the data, and maybe run proof of concepts and then hand it off to a machine learning engineer or someone from ML ops team who basically take care to wrap the code on a production level environment and deploy it. So if for that ML ops, you do require a lot of lead code, systems design, and other skills. But if you just want to be a data scientist, you want to have 50% of your role as business facing and the other 50% as technical, you don't have to be that technical. Just SQL and Python is would do.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, let's take one last question, and then we'll wrap up. Let's take this one. I have almost 10 years of IT experience as a Java backend developer and a master's degree in data analytics. Aspire to be an ML engineer. Could you please recommend me some portfolio project that can help me to enter in this field as a fresher?
I think go to High Counselor
Yes, I
and
yes. So very simple, straightforward, and just be you're a perfect use case, right? Someone who wants to transition, as we mentioned right at the beginning, right, or someone who's entering into the career. Simply go to platform. You can identify projects created by industry professional, and now we also have like very beginner level projects. Initially, we started with like tough projects, okay, but then we realized that people start from like very basic levels. So start from beginner level projects, build your portfolio, share your portfolio with recruiters and hiring managers, and you're already in the industry, right? So you can even share it in your own company that, hey, look, I've upskilled myself and these are the projects that I've done. Your journey should be relatively easy compared to someone who is right now in school or probably jobless.
yeah, and I think another thing is you can also take stretch projects within your company once you have a grasp over the basics. That's another great way to pivot.
Mhm. Supreet, I think this question is really good. Would like to take one more. What are the data science project that you would recommend for someone to get into investment banking kind of roles? Any specific category of project that you have done or that you would recommend?
I don't think there is a particular category of projects because what they usually test you on, it could be Morgan Stanley or any other company, is what you bring on the table, what your technical skills are. Often, business skills are something that can be developed over time. So, I pivoted from healthcare to finance, right? So, the only kind of skills that I brought to the table were technical skills that I knew how to work with data, do data strategy, analytics, data science, etc. So those are the kind of skills that I decided to sell and highlight in my resume. So I would say don't worry about doing domain level projects. Instead, worry about doing technical level projects and gain technical expertise.
Mhm. Okay. Perfect. We can take questions on and on, but again, I think we have reached top of the hour. Thank you so much, Supreet, for taking out time for this
Yes.
event for this particular project, and thanks to everyone for joining the session on Saturday. Really appreciate it. Again, just to revamp, uh, We will be providing you 1 week of support on Discord channel. If you have not joined Discord channel yet, I can add link over again in the chat box. I've added it again. Please join this Discord channel, ask any questions that you may have, and at the end of this 1 week, whoever leads the leaderboard will be featured on Times Square, New York, and we'll be doing more such projects in the future. So stay tuned and happy learning, and
Thank
have
you,
a great
Sukrit.
week.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.